Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today it is Tears Day, the 30th day of the month of 7, and the moon is in its first quarter, like just slightly past it. So let's see what message wants to come through today. I have the Elder Futhark on Birch. Yeah, I have to get on with the thing, because I know I said I was going to do... First of all, let's see what message wants to come through today. Yes, I said that I was going to start using other Futharks during the week, and I think that'll be really a lot of fun to do. But not today. So this message is for whenever you find this video, and it's for whoever this message is for. If you're watching this and it doesn't resonate with you, then just assume that if it doesn't resonate with you, then it's not for you today, or maybe it's not for you, or maybe it's not for you today. Law. But yeah, so hopefully you are well and enjoying whatever time of year it is for where you are when you see this. Okay, so central issue for the message that wants to come through today is Fehu. Fehu's the rune of wealth and worth. This is not necessarily money. Fehu is cattle. So it's basically the wealth that you tend. It's not, again, it's not necessarily money. It is, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to adjust my lighting. Yeah, it's the wealth that you tend. It's the stuff that whenever, no matter... How do I put this? It's the stuff that, as long as you're taking care of it, makes your life feel worthy and rich. There we go. Trying to get this a little bit nicer. Leading up to this, we have Manas reversed. So Manas is the rune of humanity and your part in it. Reversed, it's you basically turning away from that. You're basically saying, okay, you want to get okay with yourself so that you're meeting yourself with joy. And there may also have been a situation where humanity has disappointed you. You've basically, you're a bit fed up with it. So, because if you look at it, it's basically, I mean, this is not canon, but it's two Vunyos. Vunyos the joy rune. So it's two Vunyos facing each other in a mirror image. So when it's upright, it's that whole thing about that sense of belonging where you're facing other humans with joy. But when it's reversed, that's the two ways that I'm seeing it in this particular spread, where there has been a disappointment with other humans, but now you're turning... It may not have been, but basically it's a situation where you're like, okay, I am going to get right with myself. I'm going to get to the point where I feel that sense of belonging with myself, to the point where I am going to be able to face myself with joy. And this has already happened by the time you're watching this. This is something that has happened. So this is now putting us into a mindset where we're thinking about our cattle. We're thinking about the wealth that we tend. So the things in our lives that we need to take care of, but when we do, it makes our lives feel more worthy and rich. So basically our focus right now is on Fehu, which is wealth and worth. And that kind of thing in your life. And again, not necessarily money. Money might come into it, but it's mostly just, how do I make my life feel of worth? What's going to help you? We have Ansus and we have Gebo. So Ansus is the rune of communication and manifestation and expression. So I would say, I don't see Ingvaz here, but I still see this as a creative thing. So express yourself in the world, bring things through, manifest and communicate. So definitely have that communication. I mean, communication is key anyway. It's not reversed, so it's not necessarily inner communication, although that's implied given this. But you want to, I think a major part of your cattle is you're expressing yourself in the world. And that's going to help you a lot. What's going to help you to do that is we have Gebo. Gebo is the rune of the gift. It's always an exchange, and it's agreements, decisions, goals, and plans. So you're going to want to, it's that whole thing about making time. It's like, oh, I don't have time to do that in my life. Well, if it's this important to you, you're going to make the time. So give yourself, instead of, take some time out of things that are not helping you. Like if you're spending an hour a night doom scrolling, take some of that time and express yourself somehow. Create something, write something, even just journal, like purge write. That's, if you just like sit down and just try to write out everything that's cluttering your head. That's what I call purge writing, and that's really helpful in general. I mean, obviously you don't want to get to the point where you are just basically writing out the stuff that's poisoning you. Do that for a certain amount of time. Like if it's just to get it out, but if you find yourself continuing to come back to this thing that's poisoning you, and it keeps being a thing that's poisoning you, and that it's still stuck in your head and you keep writing it out, this is when you need to bring in something else, which is going to be something that is going to overwhelm the venom. So this is like where you start writing the milk, the stuff that's going to, it doesn't remove it, but it overwhelms it, it drowns it. So if when you're purge writing, you're writing the same, you find that you keep coming back to this thing that keeps being stuck in your head, and you're stuck with it, like it keeps bothering you and it's poisoning you. That's when you want to bring in, let's write for 15 minutes, just things I'm grateful for, kind of thing. And that's to overwhelm the venom. It doesn't mean the venom isn't there, and it doesn't mean it's something that you don't need to deal with, but it's something that, since this keeps coming back, you're going to want to layer and layer and layer on top of that with milk. So stuff that's actually nourishing for you. I mean, if you're lactose intolerant, obviously that's an issue, but my analogy is an issue. Whatever it is. But in terms of, you want to overpower it with something that is good that you can focus on, because we're hardwired so that we are going to focus on the bad stuff. For survival, we needed that, but when it gets to a point where it's poisoning you, we do need to make that choice and say, okay, just for the heck of it, I'm going to spend 15 minutes instead just writing about things that I'm grateful for. And you'll find that once you start writing things that you're grateful for, you keep thinking of things, and you're going to go past that 15 minutes, and that's fine, because that's what you're going to overwhelm the venom with. Anyway, let's get back to the reading. So what's going to help you at this point? So it recently, either or both of this. You were either disappointed with humanity and you're turning inward to get good with yourself, or you've just decided, I need to be okay with me. I need to feel a sense of belonging with myself. So that's where you're actually going to, you're actually in a situation where you're thinking, okay, what is it in my life that gives me a sense of wealth and worth? Not necessarily money. What are the things in my life that, as long as I'm taking care of them, give me a sense of wealth and worth in the world? And that's where we come in with, okay, expressing myself, creating something, manifesting something in the world, bringing something through that hasn't been in the world before, like poetry or music or artwork or whatever, or even just expressing myself in the world. And that's going to help you. And what's going to help you with that is, let's make a plan. Let's set some time for it. Let's actually set up some time for this. It is important and it's worth it. So make those agreements with yourself, make some plans, set some goals to do this, because it's absolutely worth it for you to do. And then you'll be able to have the time. You'll be sitting down and going, okay, now is the time when I'm going to do this. I'm going to express myself. I'm going to manifest something in the world. What is not going to help? We have Uruz, which is the rune of the wild ox, and we have Yira, which is the rune of the harvest and also time. So once again, these are both stemming from this. So I'm going to read this in all the ways that references that. So I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make this nice and even. So first of all, Uruz is the rune of the wild ox. There's a sense of resistance there. First of all, it's strength and health and stubbornness in stubbornness in a good way in general. We have a very positive rune in a negative spot. So that's where it's a worry about that thing. Am I strong enough to do this? Am I healthy enough to do this? Do I have the stick-to-itiveness to do it? But also there's a sense of immovableness about where you were before, and where it's really hard to gain the momentum to change what you were doing before. There's a resistance to it because it's change. What is behind that is there's a sense that you may feel as though you've wasted too much time and it's too late. So it's Yira, it's the rune of the harvest, and also time. And the first thing I do when I see this rune in a negative spot is there's 3 reads on this. And it's those worries. It's those worries that everybody has that can drag us down every time, which is how much time have I wasted? How little time do I have left? And what do I have to show for it? And this can lead to despair. And this is basically why you feel like, well, I haven't moved up until this point and maybe I can't. And you don't even feel like trying because you just feel like a lump and you don't want to do anything. And you feel like, okay, well, that's change and I don't want to do that. That's who I am, is this, and I can't do anything else. It's like, well, no, because you can always do something. And the thing that you're doing is, let's actually make a plan. So first of all, to address Yira, those worries about, I don't know what I can possibly do at this point. It's too late. I've wasted too much time. This is why we're making a plan now. You do have time in your day. You do. Even if it's 5 minutes, the 5 minutes that you sit down and look at things that depress and upset you on the phone, you could actually say, okay, instead of doing that today, I'm just going to sit down and write out. Even if it's like, I'm just going to write down things I'm thankful for. And that's something, just I'm expressing myself. Or you can just, I'm going to purge write. I'm going to write out everything that I can in 5 minutes that is cluttering up my head so it can be out of my head so I don't feel like I have to hold on to it. And, just have that set that up. It's like, at this time, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to stick to that and I'm going to do it. And this will help you start expressing and communicating and maybe even start manifesting if you get to that point where you're like, okay, maybe I'm just going to, brainstorm about this thing that is driving me crazy in the best possible way, where I just want to express about it. Maybe I saw something in nature the other day that just amazed me and just made me feel a certain way. And I'm just going to get out all those feelings onto paper or onto a document on the computer, so that I can start working on that and working with that and creating something out of it, or, painting or whatever. Or, drawing, anything creative of that, or just anything expressive, because that's going to help you. And all of this is going to help you with that sense of worth in your life, the stuff that makes your life rich. And what this is all going to lead you to is you're not going to feel as frantic. You're not going to feel as that you have this lack happening where you feel like, you have to feel frantic that you're not doing what you need to be doing, and you have to feel frantic because you're doing it now. You're doing this, and this can carry forward. Just making the time and then using the time, making the time and then using the time, and in a way that is nourishing for you. And then you're going to feel like you're not only not having to run around and not only less frantic, but that you can actually be still with this. And the stillness is the stillness through which clarity comes. We have Isa, which is the rune of ice. Ice is standstill and stillness, but it's clarity. It's you can finally be still and breathe. And then what you need to flow into you is flowing into you, so you can keep expressing. So that is a message that wanted to come through today. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.